Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, students. Do you know what sound is?
The sensation felt by our ears is sound.
Yes, it is correct. Also, sound is a form of energy that enable us to hear. Every object has its special sound. Can you tell me some instruments?
Tabla, guitar, flute, harmonium.
Good. These are musical instruments and have their own special sounds.
Ma'am, how is sound produced?
Sound is produced because of vibrance of an object. In other words, a vibrating object produces sound. Sound can be produced by the following method. First, by vibrating string, sitar. Second, by vibrating air column, flute. Third, by vibrating membranes, table. Fourth, by vibrating plates, bicycle bell.
Ma'am, how humans produce sound?
A human being produces sound because of vibrance of his voice box. The voice box is also known as larynx. Larynx is situated at the upper end of the windpipe. There are two stressed membrane, vocal cords, attached in the larynx, with a narrow slit between them. When air passes through those stressed membrane, they produces different type of sounds with different combinations of stretching. Thus, vibrating vocal cords produces sound. Do you know what propagation of sound is?
The traveling of sound is called propagation of sound.
Good. Sound cannot propagate in the absence of medium. The place where there is no air or air is removed is called vacuum. Sound does not propagate or travel through the vacuum. Sound travels through solid, liquid and gases.
Ma'am, why we cannot hear sound on moon?
Because there is no air on moon to carry the sound waves or sound vibrations. Do you know the speed of sound?
Speed of sound is 340 meters per second in air.
Good. Sound travels slowest in gas, faster in liquid and fastest in solid. Sounds also travel slower than light. It is one of the reasons why in case of lightning we see flash first and then thunder is heard.
Ma'am, how does human hear sound?
Sound travels in the form of wave of vibrating air molecules. When these waves reaches our ear, we hear the sound. The ear has three parts: outer ear, middle ear and the inner ear. Outer ear. It consists of pinna, ear canal and the eardrum or the tympanum. The pinna gathers the sound waves and then lead to the ear canal from where they strike the eardrum. Middle ear. The vibration from the eardrum are transmitted to three closely packed bones called hammer, anvil and stipper. These three bones finally transmit the vibration to the inner ear. Inner ear. This consists of cochlea, which is a long coiled tube. It consists of fluid and has numerous cells with a hair. These sensitive hair cells transmit the vibration to the brain through the auditory nerve for the brain to register the sound. Do you know what amplitude, time period and frequency of vibration are?
No, ma'am.
Amplitude. The maximum displacement of vibration of the vibrating body from its main position is known as amplitude. Frequency. The number of vibration made by vibrating body is 1 second is known as frequency. Frequency is equal to number of oscillations or vibration upon time. The SI unit of frequency is Hertz. Time period. The time taken by the vibrating body for one complete vibration is known as the time period of vibration. It is denoted by T. Time period is equal to time upon number of oscillation or vibration. T is equal to 1 upon F and F is equal to 1 upon T. Time period and frequency are reciprocal of each other. A pendulum oscillates 40 times in 4 seconds. Find its time period and frequency.
Frequency is equal to number of oscillation by time, that is 40 by 4 second is equal to 10 Hz. Since time period is taken to complete one oscillation, thus time period is equal to time by number of oscillation, that is 4 second by 40, that is 1 by 10 second is equal to 0.1 second. Ma'am, what are characteristics of sound?
First, loudness. Based on amplitude of a sound wave, we can determine the loudness of the sound. When the amplitude is high, it will produce a sound that is loud, and when the amplitude is low, it will produce a sound that is soft. Loudness is proportional to the square of the amplitude. This means that if the amplitude is doubled, the loudness increases 4 times. Second, shrillness or pitch. Pitch denotes the shrillness or flatness of the sound. Sound can be high or low. A woman's voice generally has a high pitch than a man's voice. This is because the frequency of women's voice is higher. Third, quality or timbre. The quality of sound is that property by virtue of which two sounds of the same pitch and the loudness produced by the two different musical instruments or people can be distinguished. What is audible and inaudible sound?
Sounds with frequency between 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz are called audible sound. The hearing range of human beings is between 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. Sound with frequency below 20 Hz and above 20,000 Hz is called sound of inaudible range. Humans can't hear the sound of inaudible range.
Very good. Many animals such as dog, cat, etc. can hear the sound with frequency above 20,000 Hz. The sound having too high frequency greater than 20,000 Hz which cannot be heard by human being is called ultrasound. Can you tell me some use of ultrasound?
Number 1. Used in detection of any blockade in pipelines. Number 2. Used to study the growth of fetus. Number 3. Used in treatment of muscular pain and disease arthritis. Number 4. Used to measure the depth of sea.
What is noise?
Sound that appears unpleasant to us is called noise, such as sound of horn, sound near the site of construction work, sound of aeroplane, etc.
What is music?
Sound that appears pleasant to our ear is called musical sound, such as sound of musical instrument, song of a good singer, etc. Ma'am, how many types of musical instrument do we have?
Musical instruments are categorized into 4 types: string instrument, wind instrument, membrane musical, and plate type musical. String instrument. String instrument make use of a string or wire to produce vibration and sound. The frequency of sound is varied by varying the length of the vibrating wire. In sitar, the shorter the length of the wire, the higher the pitch it produces. Wind instrument. Wind instrument use principle of vibrating air column to produce sound. The frequency is varied by changing the length of a vibrating air column. Flute, shehnai, and clarinet are some well-known wind instruments. Membrane musical instrument. Membrane musical instrument produces sound by vibration of thin stressed membrane. For example, tabla, dholak, drum, and dhapri. Plate type musical instrument. Plate type musical instrument produces musical sound by the vibration of thick plate. For example, cymbals, manjira, bell used in performing puja. What is noise pollution?
The presence of loud, unwanted, and unbearable sound in our environment is called noise pollution.
What are the sources of noise pollution?
The sources of noise pollution include road traffic, jet planes, trains, construction sites, factories, uses of loudspeakers, lighting of crackers during festivals, and noise from radio and television. Ma'am, what are the harmful effects of noise pollution?
Sudden exposure to high noise level can cause permanent deafness by rupturing the eardrum, cause a person to lose concentration in his work or studies. Third, noise environment cause headache and inability to concentrate on work. Fourth, high noise level can also lead to nervous tension and increase of blood pressure.
Ma'am, what are the measures of noise pollution?
First, we should not play radio, stereo system and television too loudly. Second, the bursting of crackers should be avoided. Third, the horns of motor vehicles should not be blown unnecessarily. Fourth, loud noise factories and airport should be away from residential area. Fifth, trees should be planted along road to reduce noise pollution.
Ma'am, what is hearing impairment?
Hearing impairment means a person has damaged hearing ability and cannot hear properly. Some people are born with partial hearing. Partial hearing loss is mainly due to illness, ear infection, injury, or old age. That's all for the day.
Thank you, ma'am.